After the Met Gala rejection and the disappointment that came with it, Harry and Meghan are reportedly receiving another heartbreaking rejection, this time not from outsiders, but from his own family. King Charles has shut them out of the King's Trust Global Gala. They weren't invited. The king invited other top celebrities, but Meghan and Harry were left uninvited. They had to remain in their Montecito mansion watching the gala connected to Harry's own father from afar.
And it's not just the Met. They were absent from all events during King Charles's US visit this week. Royal events, White House events, just a full clean sweep of not there.
Despite their royal blood, Harry and Meghan were deliberately left off the guest list for the King's Trust Gala. And the hits keep coming. Reports say that they were also not invited to the Met Gala on May 4th, an event that could have gone a long way in cementing Meghan's place as a fashion icon.
The snub stings particularly hard for the Duchess, who actually had a shot at attending this year's costume art-themed event, given that two of the co-chairs, Beyoncé and Venus Williams, have loose connections to her social circle.
Meghan was nowhere to be seen, and people keep saying that Meghan always tries to steal the spotlight wherever she goes, and that may be exactly why doors keep closing on her. King Charles wanted his U.S. visit to be clean, focused, and drama-free. And we all know that wherever Harry and Meghan show up, drama is never far behind. So the easiest fix? Don't invite them at all.
Look, we've got to talk about that couple formerly known as royals, Harry and Meghan. They love to share their innermost thoughts and they love media attention, don't they? So
King Charles rolled out the red carpet for Anna Wintour, Martha Stewart, Donatella Versace, and Edward Enninful at the King's Trust Gala in New York, a glittering, star-studded evening where the King Charles invited practically every elite, every icon, every single one of them except his own flesh and blood. Let that sink in. A man will fly across the Atlantic, shake hands with celebrities, clink glasses with fashion royalty, and still not pick up the phone for his own son who was living just a 5-hour flight away. And if King Charles, Harry's own father, couldn't bring himself to extend an invitation, why on earth would Anna Wintour? She's famously close to the royal family, and she watched Harry and Meghan destroy the reputation of the royal family she adores. So when people wonder why Harry and Meghan were shut out of the Met Gala too, it's not hard to guess. In 1 week, two of the biggest events in America essentially told the Duke and Duchess of Sussex the same thing. You are not on the list.
Wednesday's Global Gala marked the 50th anniversary of the King's Trust and included A-listers like Anna Wintour, Karlie Kloss, Donatella Versace, Martha Stewart, Meghan Fahy, Leo Woodall, Iman, and Nina Dobrev. It was also co-chaired by Lionel Richie, Edward Enninful, and Charlotte Tilbury. Photos from inside the celebration show Richie and the monarch shaking hands, as well as taking turns at the podium.
If Harry had shown up, he would have been just another face in the crowd, no title, no role, no real reason to be there. His absence wasn't an accident. It felt very much on purpose. The organizers wanted a smooth, drama-free evening, not one where all eyes drift toward two people who walked away from royal life but somehow never leave royal headlines. This event is deeply personal to King Charles. It's his own charity, his own legacy. An invite to this gala means something. It says you're trusted, recognized, and still part of the inner circle. So being left out sends an equally loud message. Harry and Meghan are no longer considered part of the king's working world, and this gala made that crystal clear.
Buckingham Palace says Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will no longer be working members of the royal family. In a statement, Queen Elizabeth said Harry, Meghan, and Archie will always be loved members of my family, but she recognizes the challenges and intense scrutiny they've experienced. As a result, Meghan and Harry will no longer receive public funds and will no longer use their titles.
Things have been quiet and peaceful at the palace lately, well beside Andrew's scandals. Inviting Harry and Meghan would have stirred up drama and media chaos, and the palace simply wasn't willing to go there right now. And you just know Harry and Meghan wanted that invite badly. Getting into the King's Trust circle would have been huge for them. It would have opened doors, fashion, philanthropy, high society connections, the whole package. One invite like that has a ripple effect. It leads to more invites, more collaborations, and more relevance. It could have even put them back in the running for something like the Met Gala. But none of that happened, and that says a lot.
Meghan Markle not invited to the Met Gala again? Shocking. The biggest fashion night of the year. Anna Wintour, Beyonce, billionaires everywhere. And somehow, the future of fashion didn't make the guest list? But I thought you were going into fashion, Meghan. No one assumed that, Megs. Literally no one.
Instead, their absence is widely interpreted as both social and institutional distancing. It leaves observers imagining how different things might have been had relations remained strong. Many royal commentators argue that things might have unfolded differently if the relationship between Harry, Meghan, and the royal family had not deteriorated so publicly. The Oprah interview, the Netflix projects, and their decision to step back from royal duties created deep divisions.
Know how they could expect that after all of this time, we would still just be silent if there is an active role that the firm is playing in perpetuating falsehoods about us.
What once looked like a power move, stepping away from the royals to build something bigger, is slowly starting to look like a miscalculation. The opportunities they were so confident about are drying up, and without the royal stamp of approval, doors just aren't opening the way they used to. And then there's the Invictus Games, Harry's passion project. But here's the thing, without royal support, even that could hit a wall. Royal backing isn't just nice to have. It's what gives these events their weight, their prestige, their national significance. Take that away and suddenly things get very complicated, very fast.
Prince Harry is really keen to get his father involved, which I can tell you now Prince William will not let happen.
No.
The disconnect between Harry and the royal family appears to be widening, and the consequences continue to grow. He was previously absent from royal military remembrance moments, despite his own military service history. Harry served in Afghanistan and built a strong identity around his military role during his time as a working royal.
Prince Harry is serving on the front line in Afghanistan with the British Army, and British officials say the third in line to the throne has been in the war-torn country since December. Harry is a lieutenant in the Blues and Royals Regiment. The head of the army says the 23-year-old's conduct has been exemplary.
However, after stepping back from royal duties, many ceremonial roles connected to royal representation were no longer available to him. These changes were tied directly to the decision to relinquish senior royal responsibilities. While King Charles and Prince William are out there representing the crown, attending ceremonies, carrying the tradition forward, Harry is watching from the sidelines. That's just the reality now. There's a clear line between those who are in and those who stepped out, and Harry is firmly on the outside looking in.
The King and Queen's visit to the 9/11 Memorial in New York, then on to Harlem, and the New York Public Library rounded off a perfect tour. Meanwhile, Harry is trapped in this odd space where he still wants the status of royalty. This is, of course, while spending most of his time, along with wife Meghan, disrespecting the institution that gave him relevance in the first place.
Walking away from royal life sounded freeing at the time, but the cost has been real. The invites have dried up, the ceremonies he once stood proudly at are now happening without him, and the military events that were once a huge part of who he was no longer include him. Turns out, moving from senior royal to independent public figure is a lot harder than it looked on paper, especially in a world where royal approval still carries serious weight.
Buckingham Palace has confirmed that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will not be returning as working members of the royal family. Prince Harry and Meghan stepped down from royal duties last year and moved to the United States.
The personal relationship between Charles and Harry seems to be getting worse, not better. Even when both of them end up in the same country, a proper father-son meeting just doesn't seem to happen. Royal duties always come first, and family comes, well, somewhere much further down the list. Reconciliation keeps getting pushed to the back burner.
Sky News contributor Louise Roberts compares this royal trip to the recent phony Sussex tour of Australia.
This week's US visit has been a triumph for King Charles. It has also been a fairly humiliating reminder of the difference between the monarchy and Montecito.
And then there's another sore point. Harry and Meghan have been doing overseas tours that, let's be honest, look a lot like royal visits. Critics say this goes against the very agreement they made when they stepped back, that they would not operate as part-time royals. The palace reportedly was not happy about it, and it only added more fuel to an already burning fire. But the thing is, even the Australian public did not show much interest in Harry and Meghan.
You mean on any given day, the surrounds of the Opera House have got more people there than we saw for Harry and Meghan. It's like people avoided the area to avoid them. And there was that footage from Bondi Beach where people are just, suntanning whilst the media pack walks through.
That woman's my
the,
new hero.
This is like, leave us alone. We're at the beach. We don't want to see this spectacle. The level of interest was almost zero here.
Yeah, look, you see bigger crowds, trying to get petrol at the petrol station when the word about panic buying has gone around.
At this point, royal observers are saying this is one of the lowest points in Charles and Harry's relationship. There's still hope for reconciliation, but right now it feels very far away. Some even believe Harry is running out of time to fix things before the gap becomes too wide to bridge. So what do you think? Is King Charles right to keep his distance, or should he reach out and make things right with his son? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next video.